Hi everyone, my name is Grace and I'm an athletic training student here at the University of South Carolina. I also have some other classmates that are going to be helping me out today. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and teach you how to do an 8-person lift when you have to hold someone's C-spine, keep them immobilized, and then get them onto the spine board and get them headed out to EMS. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is when we have our patient on the ground, Julian here, he's just suffered a severe hit in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to check and make sure that the scene is safe. So right now I'm looking around, the scene is safe for me to approach. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and say, hey Julian, are you okay? Yeah. Okay, so he says no. So the first thing I'm going to check, obviously, airway, breathing, and circulation. Since he is alert and he's telling me no, I know he has airway, breathing, and then I can assume he has circulation since he is being responsive to me. But I might want to go ahead and just make sure he has a pulse, see what that feels like. Okay, his pulse is feeling normal, so that's good. Then I'm going to go ahead and ask, can you tell me what's wrong?
Can't feel my feet in the arms.
Okay, you can't feel your feet in your arms. Can you feel this?
No.
What about this?
No.
So there I just went ahead and did a little bit of a neurological test to see if he felt me on his arms, making sure not to tell him where I'm touching him, so that way he psychologically doesn't know where he should be feeling that area. And then knowing that he can't feel this, first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and grab, hold his head, let him know, all right, Julian, I'm just going to stabilize your head here. We're going to get you some help and get you taken care of. When you're going to hold someone's C-spine and immobilize them, there are two different techniques to use. So the first technique that you can use is just your hands and you'll cup them around the head. So with that, you want to place their ears in this part of your hand. Make sure that it's around the outside so they can still hear you while you're talking to them. And then all of your other fingers are going to go under their occiput and make sure they're stable. So that way, if Julian tries to move his head, he can. The second way that you can do that is the trap hold. So with this, I can slide my hands like this underneath his traps, and I'll have his head resting in my forearms. That way he's immobilized within my forearms. So with that, slide under and have him in my forearms. He can try and move his head. He can't move his head. And then this is a good situation if it is a time where you might be sitting here like this for a while. It can be hard on your knees and your legs. So with this position, it's a little bit easier to slowly slide your legs out and then move to a laying position. That way you're a little bit more comfortable as well without moving the patient's head around with it. Okay, so in this situation, I'm holding his head. I'm now currently married to Julian, so I'm not going to leave this position behind his head. We have all of our other ATs that have come up, and they're asking what they can do to help. So first things first, I'm gonna get someone to go call 911. Abby, go call 911.
I'll call 911.
Next thing, I wanna make sure I get the spine board. Emily, go get the spine board.
I'll go get the spine board.
Next thing, I wanna make sure that someone is getting the AED. Naya, go grab the AED for me.
I'll go grab the AED.
Also, I want to make sure if the straps and the blocks are not with the spine board, I have someone else getting that. Kaylee, can you get the straps and the blocks?
I'll get the straps and the blocks.
During this part, I'm just going to talk to Julian, make sure he's okay, we're still taking care of you. Everyone else has returned. I'm going to go ahead and start telling people to get in their positions. So, Kaylee, can you be at the hips? Abby, you're going to be at the hips. Naya, can you be at the feet? As well as Kaylee, be at the feet. And then Kim and Allie, can you come and be at the shoulders? Okay, so once everyone is in position, then you want to go ahead and get everyone ready. So you want to make sure everyone knows what we're going to do. So when I tell you to get ready, you all are going to slide your hands underneath him. Make sure your forearms are underneath as well. We're going to be doing the cross arms technique. This means that each other's arms are going to link over and under the person next to you. That way we can provide him with more stability. We're going to go ahead and lift him about 3 inches off the ground, just high enough for the spine board to go underneath. We don't have to lift very far. And then when I say lift, we're going to lift. So I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, lift. We'll lift. 3, 2, 1, down. We'll gently lower him down onto the spine board. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right. Next thing I want to do is tell them to go ahead and get in position. So they'll slide their arms underneath, crossing their arms, making sure they're providing enough stability. And then I want to check and make sure everyone's knees are in the right position. Everyone's knees look even. And then I'm going to tell my person with the board, Emily, when I say lift and we have them in the air, slide the board all the way until you hit my knees, and then I will tell you all to drop. Is anyone not ready? All right, We're gonna lift on lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, down. Okay, so at this point we can choose to cross his arms across his chest. We can tape his thumbs together or keep his arms at his side as long as the arms are gonna be secure once we have him with the straps, and you have a space to make sure he still has a radial pulse. And this time, I'm going to choose to leave his arms at his sides because that's my personal preference. And then I'm gonna go ahead and tell everyone to get the straps ready. During this, these straps have labels on them to tell you where they go on the body. So you'll have one on the chest, one on the hips, one below the knees, and then one at the feet, as well as one on the thighs to make sure that he's stable on the board. Then it's gonna be up to your people on the sides to pull the straps tight. When they're doing this, you wanna make sure they pull at the same time with the same strength. That way there's no shifting within the patient on the spine cord. When they start to pull the straps, you wanna make sure they start at the top and then work their way down to the feet. This ensures that if Julian were to start vomiting or having issues, he will be secured at the top and he'll be less likely to roll off the board if we need to move him onto his side. So you all can start putting on the straps. And now that the straps are on, you want to go ahead and move to the blocks being put into place. All right, when you're putting the blocks on the head, there's two different techniques that you can do this. So first things first, you want to make sure that they start with the flat side facing the head, the angled side facing the outside. Then you can either choose to slide it down on the top and I will remove my hand like this, or they can start on the outside and I will remove my hand like this again and then push into the ear. So with this, you're going to need two people and you're going to do the blocks one at a time. So I'm going to start with you, Allie. I'm going to choose to go from the top down. So we have the flat side facing his head, and then push down. And I remove my hand and that block is in place. And then I'm immediately going to replace my hand on the outside of this block to ensure stability. Next side, Kim. And immediately replacing my hand. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and put on our head and chin straps. So with that, Allie and Kim are gonna help me. And once the strap is on, I'm gonna go ahead and slowly remove my hands.
1, 2, 3. One, two, three.
And now our patient is secured. Now that our patient is secure, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to lift him and then transport him to where we need to take him for EMS. So first thing we're gonna do is make sure, again, everyone is ready, that everyone's arms are in place. Is anyone not ready? Okay, we're gonna lift on lift. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, lift. We'll lift, and then once we start walking with him, you're gonna keep your inside arm attached to the board. Your outside arm you're gonna take off and start walking. So if you're on Abby's side, you're gonna keep your right arm on the board. If you're on Kim's side, you're gonna keep your left arm. We're gonna make sure we're walking with our patient with the feet first. And then Emily, you're gonna go ahead and let go once we start walking. Make sure the doors are open and the area for us to walk is clear. Anyone not ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, lift. All right, Emily, you can release, and everyone release their hands, and we'll go ahead and start walking with our patient.